My beloved child, listen to me carefully, because I am speaking to the part of your heart that has been quietly carrying more than anyone knows. There is a reason these words found you today, and before you move away from this message, I want you to understand one thing: this is not a moment to rush through. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you in the words you are about to hear. I know there are moments when you smile in front of everyone while your heart is asking questions you never say out loud. I know there are nights when you wonder whether everything you have been waiting for will ever arrive, whether the things you prayed for, hoped for, and quietly believed in will finally make sense. But something is changing around you, and you may not recognize it yet because the greatest changes often begin silently. They begin as a feeling you cannot explain, a sudden realization, a door that seems ordinary, a conversation that appears small, or a moment that makes you pause for just a second longer than usual. Stay till the end, because I need you to hear the full message before you decide what it means for you. There is something important about the season you are entering, and if you have been feeling unusually thoughtful, unusually sensitive, or strangely aware that something is different, do not ignore that feeling. You are not here by accident. There is a message hidden inside your present moment. And I want you to listen without fear, without rushing, and without allowing yesterday to control what tomorrow could become. Be very careful, not because you should live in worry, but because your attention is precious. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your plans, your dreams, or the softest parts of your heart. Sometimes the biggest mistake is not choosing the wrong path, sometimes it is revealing your entire heart before you know who truly understands it. You have been learning this slowly, perhaps through disappointment, perhaps through silence, perhaps through moments when someone you trusted did not respond the way you expected. Yet even those moments were teaching you something. They were showing you the difference between someone who simply enjoys your presence and someone who genuinely values your heart. So don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and I want you to recognize it when it appears. There is a reason I am telling you to slow down today. You have been moving forward while carrying questions behind you, and now you are approaching a moment where you may need to choose differently than you have chosen before. The old version of you would have rushed to explain, rushed to answer, rushed to prove, rushed to make everyone comfortable. But the new version of you is learning to pause. That pause will become powerful. You do not have to respond to every voice. You do not have to chase every opportunity. You do not have to convince everyone of your worth. Some things become clearer when you stop forcing them to become clear. And this is where the surprise begins, because what you thought was being delayed may actually have been being prepared. What you thought was a closed door may have simply been a redirection. What you thought was an ending may have been the quiet beginning of something much bigger. Keep listening, because there is more to this than you realize. Something is approaching your life that will require a calmer heart, a sharper mind, and a deeper understanding of your own value. You may soon notice a small sign that feels strangely personal. A sentence that stays in your mind, an unexpected invitation, an opportunity, or even a moment of clarity that suddenly connects pieces of your past. When that happens, do not dismiss it simply because it looks small. Remember, some of the most important moments arrive without announcing themselves. They do not come with noise. They come quietly, almost invisibly, and only the person who is paying attention recognizes their importance. So today, I am asking you to pay attention. Watch what repeatedly captures your thoughts. Notice what brings peace instead of confusion. Notice which conversations leave you feeling stronger and which ones leave you questioning yourself. Notice where your energy naturally moves when you are not trying to impress anyone. These details matter. Your heart has been trying to tell you something, and perhaps you have been too busy surviving yesterday to hear it. Now is the time to listen. Don't skip this part, because I am about to tell you something that may completely change the way you look at your current situation. The thing you have been worried about may not be the thing you need to worry about at all. You have been looking at what is visible, while something much deeper has been taking shape beneath the surface. You have been measuring your progress by what you can see, but not every transformation can be measured immediately. A seed does not look like a tree while it is growing beneath the soil. A new chapter does not always announce itself on the first page. Sometimes the evidence arrives later. Sometimes the meaning becomes clear only after you have walked through the moment. And I believe you are closer to that understanding than you think. Stay till the end, because there is a reason this message feels different. You may have clicked because the title made you curious, but curiosity is not the only reason you stayed. Some part of you recognized the feeling. Some part of you has been waiting for someone to say, "Be careful with your heart. Be careful with your choices. Be careful with what you allow to shape your future." That does not mean you should become suspicious of everyone. It means you should become wise about what you carry. You can be kind without being available to everyone. You can forgive without returning to the same pattern. You can love people while still respecting your own boundaries. You can believe in someone while also paying attention to their actions. This is a lesson that will protect your peace more than any amount of explanation ever could. And there is another reason I am telling you this today. You may be entering a period where people begin noticing the change in you before you fully notice it yourself. Your silence may become different. Your choices may become calmer. Your standards may become stronger. Your desire to please everyone may begin to disappear. You may stop explaining why you need space. You may stop chasing people who only remember you when it is convenient. You may stop measuring your worth through someone else's attention. And when that happens, some people will be surprised. They may wonder what happened to the version of you who always said yes, always waited, always forgave, always returned, always tried one more time. But you will know what happened. You finally understood that protecting your peace is not selfish. It is wisdom. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you in this realization. There is a moment coming when you may be given a choice between what is familiar and what is truly right for your future. The familiar option may feel comfortable because you already know its language. You know its patterns. You know what to expect. But the better option may feel unfamiliar simply because you have never walked that road before. This is why you must not confuse comfort with confirmation. Not everything that feels familiar is meant to remain. Sometimes growth feels strange at first. Sometimes a better future requires you to release an old expectation. Sometimes the greatest blessing is not receiving what you wanted, but finally understanding why something did not work. And I want you to remember this when the next unexpected moment arrives. Do not make a permanent decision based on a temporary emotion. Give yourself time. Breathe. Observe. Listen. Let your mind become quiet enough to hear what your heart has been saying. You have already survived moments that once seemed impossible to understand. You have already walked through days you thought would never end. You have already rebuilt pieces of yourself that you thought were gone forever. That means you are stronger than the version of yourself that once believed everything had to happen immediately. You are learning patience, and patience is not weakness. Patience is the ability to remain steady while life is rearranging itself. So when something seems delayed, do not immediately assume it is denied. When someone becomes distant, do not immediately assume you are unworthy. When one opportunity disappears, do not immediately assume your future has disappeared with it. Your life is larger than one moment. Your future is larger than one decision. Your identity is larger than one person's opinion. And the most surprising part is that the very thing you have been worried about may eventually become the thing you thank life for changing. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are closer to understanding it than you realize. There may come a day very soon when you look back at this exact period and finally understand why you had to slow down. You will remember the uncertainty, the unanswered questions. The moments when you felt as though nothing was moving, and you will realize that something was moving all along. It was you. Your perspective was changing. Your priorities were changing. Your heart was becoming more selective. Your vision was becoming clearer. You were learning to distinguish between attention and genuine care, between excitement and peace, between promises and consistency, between temporary comfort and lasting value. These lessons may not feel dramatic while they are happening, but they can completely transform your future. And this is why I am worried about you in a different way than you might expect. I am not worried because I believe something bad is waiting for you. I am worried because I know how easily a beautiful future can be delayed when a person keeps doubting themselves. I am worried that you may underestimate the importance of the next choice. I am worried that you may allow one old disappointment to make you reject a new opportunity. I am worried that you may keep looking backward while life is gently asking you to look forward. I am worried that you may become so focused on proving that you were right about the past that you forget to build something beautiful in the present. So be careful with your thoughts. Be careful with the stories you repeat about yourself. If you keep telling yourself that nothing ever works, eventually you may stop noticing what is working. If you keep telling yourself that everyone leaves, you may overlook the people who are staying. If you keep telling yourself that you are behind, you may forget how far you have already come. Your mind listens to what you repeatedly tell it. Choose your inner words carefully. And when doubt becomes loud, return to the facts of your journey. Remember what you have learned. Remember what you have overcome. Remember the moments when you thought you could not continue but somehow found another step. That history matters. It is evidence that you are capable of moving forward even when the entire road is not visible. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and I need you to understand why your next chapter may feel completely different from your last one. You are beginning to realize that you cannot control every outcome, but you can control how you enter the moment. You can enter with fear, or you can enter with wisdom. You can enter desperate for approval, or you can enter knowing your worth. You can enter trying to force everything into place, or you can enter willing to recognize what naturally fits. This difference may appear small, but it can change everything. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that you no longer feel the need to chase what keeps running away from you. Imagine realizing that your peace is worth more than being understood by everyone. Imagine looking at an old situation and feeling no anger, no desperation. No need to prove anything, only gratitude that you learned what you needed to learn. That is the kind of transformation I want you to prepare for. And perhaps the most shocking revelation is this: the person you have been waiting for to change may not be the person who needs to change. Perhaps the greatest change is happening inside you. Perhaps your standards are becoming clearer. Perhaps your patience is becoming wiser. Perhaps your heart is becoming stronger without becoming harder. There is a difference. A hard heart closes itself because it is afraid of being hurt. A strong heart remains open but becomes wise about where it gives its trust. Become that strong heart. Keep your kindness. Keep your compassion. Keep your ability to believe in beautiful possibilities. But also keep your discernment. Not every smile means loyalty. Not every promise means commitment. Not every opportunity is meant for you. And not every delay is a loss. Some delays protect you from choosing too quickly. Some pauses give you information you could not have seen while rushing. Some endings make space for beginnings that would have been impossible otherwise. This is why you must pay attention to what is changing. You may soon notice that something you once desperately wanted no longer has the same power over you. That is not failure. That is growth. You may realize that a dream has evolved into something even better. That is not confusion. That is maturity. You may discover that your definition of happiness has changed. That is not losing yourself. That is finding yourself more honestly. Stay till the end, because there is one final truth I want you to carry with you today. You do not need to know every detail of your future to move forward with confidence. You only need enough clarity for the next step. The next step may be simple. It may be resting. It may be learning. It may be saying no. It may be saying yes. It may be beginning again. It may be letting a conversation end without forcing another explanation. It may be choosing yourself after years of putting everyone else first. Whatever it is, do not underestimate it. A small decision made with a clear heart can redirect an entire season. And if you feel that something is about to happen, do not allow excitement to make you careless or fear to make you frozen. Be present. Observe. Think. Listen. You are allowed to move slowly and still move forward. You are allowed to be hopeful and still be wise. You are allowed to believe that something wonderful can happen while remaining grounded in reality. That balance is your strength. And I want you to remember the title of this message, because now you understand why those words matter. I am so worried about you, you need to be very careful. Be careful with your time. Be careful with your attention. Be careful with the promises you make to yourself. Be careful with the people you allow to influence your confidence. Be careful not to abandon your own dreams simply because someone else did not understand them. Be careful not to turn one disappointment into a lifelong belief. Be careful not to reject the future because the past taught you to expect less. There is still so much ahead of you. There are conversations you have not had, places you have not seen, ideas you have not discovered, opportunities you have not recognized, and versions of yourself you have not yet met. That is why you cannot give up on the story while you are still in the middle of it. Don't skip now. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the deeper you go, the more you will understand why you needed to hear these words today. There is a quiet turning point approaching, and it may not look dramatic when it arrives. It may look like a simple decision. It may look like a peaceful morning. It may look like one unexpected message. It may look like an opportunity that almost passes unnoticed. It may look like finally understanding something that confused you for a long time. Whatever form it takes, remember this moment. Remember that you were warned to pay attention. Remember that you were encouraged to slow down. Remember that your future deserves your presence. You have spent enough time wondering whether you are being forgotten. Now begin asking whether you are being prepared. You have spent enough time asking why something did not happen. Now begin asking what that space is making room for. You have spent enough time measuring yourself against other people's timelines. Now begin honoring your own journey. Your life does not need to look like anyone else's to be meaningful. Your path does not need to make sense to everyone to be right for you. Your progress does not need to be loud to be real. Sometimes the greatest changes happen in silence. Sometimes the most powerful victories are invisible at first. Sometimes the strongest decision is simply refusing to return to a version of yourself that you have already outgrown. And if you have been feeling that something is different lately, trust yourself enough to observe it. Not every feeling needs an immediate explanation. Some truths reveal themselves with time. Let time work with you instead of against you. Let your actions become more intentional. Let your words become more thoughtful. Let your heart become more peaceful. And when the next door appears, do not ask only, "Is this what I wanted?" Ask, "Is this good for the person I am becoming?" That question may save you from chasing things that look impressive but do not bring peace. It may guide you toward something far more meaningful than you imagined. This is the part where everything begins to connect. The worry, the waiting, the silence, the questions, the lessons, the changes, the strange feeling that something is coming, they may all be pieces of the same story. You are not standing at the end. You are standing near a transition. And transitions can feel uncertain because the old picture is fading before the new picture becomes clear. But do not panic in that space. Stay steady. Stay observant. Stay hopeful. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. And perhaps the greatest revelation is not that something outside you is about to change, but that you are becoming ready to respond differently when it does. That is where your power begins. You cannot control every person, every circumstance, every timing, or every outcome. But you can control the kind of person you become while life unfolds. Become someone who pauses before reacting. Become someone who chooses peace over unnecessary confusion. Become someone who respects their own time. Become someone who recognizes genuine care. Become someone who does not abandon their dreams when progress becomes slow. Become someone who can walk away from what no longer fits without carrying bitterness into the future. And above all, become someone who remembers that uncertainty is not proof that nothing is happening. Sometimes uncertainty is simply the space between chapters. The next chapter may already be forming. The next opportunity may already be moving closer. The next realization may already be taking shape. You may not see it yet, but that does not mean it is not there. So breathe. Look around you. Listen carefully. Watch the patterns. Protect your peace. Keep your heart open and your mind awake. Because when the moment comes, you do not want to be distracted by something that was never meant to define you. You want to recognize what truly matters. You want to be ready for the moment that changes your perspective. And when you finally understand why you had to wait, why you had to learn, why you had to become stronger, you may look back and realize that this season was never trying to break you. If you believe me, type yes and subscribe.